So most men that I come across, they fit into the category of an incel. Now, if you don't know what an incel is basically it's a guy who have given up on dating, who have given up on trying to improve, trying to get their looks, you know, better, trying to get their relationship better, trying to form romantic interest or bonds with women. And yeah, they've basically given up. They've learned this helplessness, and then now they're like, okay, this is it for us. Like the fact that we didn't have a 6 foot height, or we didn't have a good genetics for bodybuilding. We were just gonna give up on life. We're gonna give up on everything, and it's a very dangerous mindset to be around and to be in. You might know a lot of people, a lot of men who are incels, and maybe they're borderline touching that spectrum, maybe because one thing that I've noticed, I'm not talking about people from a marginal background, I'm talking about people who are educated, people who who are at a very high post, maybe they're managers, they're CEOs, and they still have the mentality. And now, the I think the main issue here is that the only exposure of women that they have is through pornography, and it's not a good thing, obviously, because but then they start looking women as objects, not human, and they see them as beings of pleasure, and not people who have actual feelings. And eventually, when they get married off, like usually it happens in arranged marriage, especially here in South Asia and Pakistan, even in India. So what happens is that they get an arranged marriage, and or even miraculously they come into a relationship or start talking to someone. They just don't know how to meet anyone's emotional needs. They don't know how to meet their partner's partner needs, what they want emotionally, what they want physically, because all they know is that they have the narrative inside of their head that a woman is just a soul reason, so the sole purpose of her is just pleasure. And it sucks, like they don't it's very hard to wrap my head around the concept and the way that they think. So now now this why does this happen? Why do men become incels? Why do they give up on dating? Okay, so okay, when I think that men don't really have good role models, and I think social media also plays a very big part on perceived attractiveness. So when they see that, okay, this social media, this guy is successful, this guy has this guy has a certain physique, this guy has certain looks, he looks better than me. You unconsciously start to compare yourself to them, and it eventually leads to issues in your self image. You start to see yourself less and less and less, and you just give up without even trying. Or you could, or sometimes what happens is that they try to be vocal of their feelings, and they ask out someone and they reject them, and they don't really take the rejection lightly, and the repeated exposure to rejections just causes them to feel very inferior. And so what they do is, rather than taking the rejection not personally, they take it very personally, and then they just end up hating on women, society, and the whole system around it. And they think that if you don't look or act a certain way, you don't deserve any kind of intimacy or relationships. So are these people beyond saving? I don't think so. I think this is a learned behavior, and definitely it can be unlearned. But the first thing that you may have to do is you have to acknowledge, okay, man, I might be on the spectrum. I might be doing this. I might be doing that, and I quite need to change my narrative around this. And it's obviously a slow process. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen instantly. And there's this they feel constant sadness, they feel constant shame and guilt for no reason. And it's very important that as as people we try to help them. I mean, of course, they're dangerous people. They might be not emotionally in touch with their feelings. They might be on a path of just um, don't know where they're going. And it's tempting to just call it a day, but at the same time it's a growing problem. And the I mean, okay, apart from men themselves, the society itself, it faces a lot of consequences of men being the way they are. Like, if a man is incel, they're or not in touch with their feelings, then what they're gonna think, what they're gonna cause is trouble for for themselves, for society, for women, for children. They don't happen to be good fathers. They don't happen to be good partners. They don't happen to be good sons. They don't happen to be good brothers. So yeah, if we want to succeed as a society, if we want to if we want if we want less men who are not in who are who are incels. So this is the change that we need to make, and we need to help them out. We need to call out the actions. We need to call out the unnecessary hate. We need to call out the learned behavior that they have that they have grown accustomed to. So yeah, it's very important to call out that. And hopefully I'll make a new video on it. I might research a little bit more, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.